And then the fifth one, I didn't really quite understand this word at the time, so my answer was really not a good one. Niche, which is really a sub-target, okay? Whereas in number 3, we talked about the target audience or target market. This one is more the niche. Like, Nancy, you were just talking about it, you know. You're selling real estate in general, or real estate buyers as your target audience, your market. But you said that it's got to be streams or niches of, let's say, home repairs and, you know, mortgage. Anything that's related to real estate or home buying, because those are the lead generators. So what niche do you want to get into? In my case, eventually, really, and I wrote down, you know, no nonsense net guide for newbie netpreneurs. Really, what I was really building here was the niche of list building. But I didn't know at the time that, I mean, you could do that. It was only in hindsight that I realized that, oh my goodness, you know, literally created the list building coaching niche back then by writing this answer down. Okay? So what's the niche? What's that small segment of that big market that you want to aim for or aim at? For example, a target audience for Kathy and for Mary Jo, like MLM people, okay, network marketers. Well, in the case of Mary Jo, at least right now, okay, one sub-niche would be those who are in tune with the network marketing with heart, you know. And more specifically, you're aiming at Manatech distributors, at least with your coaching program. That's very niche. Okay, that alone, I mean, you can create an empire just from that one company. Okay, or even, let's say, like the nutritional network marketers. Okay. Now, in the case of Kathy, it's really she's really working on helping MLMers offline to get online, and more specifically, teach them how to generate leads and build their list in that niche called MLM, who wants to go to internet marketing. You know what I'm saying? So deciding on that is crucial, because you never know what niche or what thing you're going to start. Okay? Like right now, there's a lot of people selling leads, but there's really not many who teaches people how to build their own list or build their own leads. That's an open market. Okay? All right, number 6 is the identity. Okay? What kind of identity you want to have in the marketplace? James and I were just talking about this identity thing, and it's kind of like your brand or your character that you want to send to the marketplace. Okay? And you know, when I talk about brand, and we'll talk about it a little bit in step number 2, that could be a vague word, but I think there's a way to really brand yourself in a more specific way. In fact, Bob, I will mention this later too, helped me a lot in branding myself, because he has a strategy which is really attained for a mini guru status than just a big guru status, which worked brilliantly for me, and I know for many others. So I think that's what he's talking about here with the identity. What kind of identity do you want to build for yourself? Who are you in the marketplace, especially in your niche? Okay, like for example, Raul is working on the identity of perhaps becoming the Hispanic MasterListBuilder, or Hispanic internet marketer. Okay? Now, in my case, the identity that I kind of built for myself was assigned to me as the MasterListBuilder, but I was really building on that identity in the process. But only when I found that word, which is what we're going to cover in step number 2, that kind of helped me really define the brand and even refine it. Okay? So just write down, you know, who do you want to be recognized as in your niche? And whatever comes to mind right now. Okay? It can be vague right now, okay? But we will make it clear as we go through the second step especially. Okay? I wrote down here at that time the first website, which is really, I was thinking of my website for aspiring netpreneurs, and then I wrote this down. Personalized coaching to help you from being a net newbie to a net vet. Again, that's part of my identity, is the personal touch. In fact, my meme, that is my brand, that's my logo. Look at the hands. I even created a word for it. And I'll explain that later on. It's called auto-humanization. Okay? Auto, which is the @ sign, automation, technology, and then hands-on. Okay? And I'll go through that in step number 2 in a little bit. Okay, so just write down what comes to mind as to the identity you want to be recognized. Oh man, this guy, perfect. The identity that he wanted to be known was this, man, I hope you don't mind me saying this, John, like in your face, really edgy or kind of like really blunt, you know, either you do it or you don't kind of black book, AdWords, marketer. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just, you know, and I see it in his websites, I see it in his writings, which is really interesting because the John that I know is the gentle John. I mean, he's, you know, John, could you actually expound on that? Because that is such an interesting identity, if you don't mind.
What I sought to do, I mean, you know, first of all, for any of you, I've had this advice over the years, first of all, stay out of trying to compete in the internet marketing niche. So that was the first problem that I had to look at. The next problem with AdWords is that there's already a guy existing in the AdWords niche that you say, who's the expert on AdWords, and anybody who's paying attention says Perry Marshall. So what I did was I sought to position myself as the anti-Perry Marshall. And I said, you know, what does he stand for as a character? And I really made myself the opposite of what he stood for as a character. So, you know, my site is black. The language is very heavy-duty, confrontational, in your face. And I took a lot of
competition.
Right. Annihilate, you know, humiliate, dominate, you know, all these sort of things. It actually was very clear on who I was talking to in my target market and what their frustrations are and what their pain is. But, you know, I'd recommend doing that with whatever you do. It's like I took almost the opposite identity of what was out there and sought to position myself as the anti-guru instead of a guru. So.
And again, you can go to AdWords Black Book, and too bad he no longer sells his ebook. But John, I'm putting you on the spot here. You should just, you know, share with us the people here that Black Book. But it's up to you. I'm just giving you an idea. But you will see what I meant by the identity. And go to the website. Go to AdWordsBlackBook.com. I mean, you'll see it.
Actually, I took the original sales letter down because it was so plagiarized and ripped off. If you want to read the original sales letter, it's AdWordsBlackBook.com/index-index.html. And it will give you a good sense of, and I wrote the product in the same way as well. And I also actually, it can be taken very literally and seriously, but I sought to make the book somewhat humorous too and entertaining. So.
Yes.
Yes, AdWordsBlackBook.com/index-index.html. And that's the original sales letter.